Okay, let me ask you something. Have you ever found yourself sticking with a really bad decision just because you've already invested so much in it? It's this hidden psychological trap that gets all of us, whether it's the terrible movie we refuse to walk out of, or that career path we know deep down is just wrong. Well, today, we are diving deep into the sunk cost fallacy, that sneaky cognitive bias that makes us throw good money and our precious time right after the bad. So let's paint a picture. Imagine this. A few months back, you splurged. You bought a pretty expensive ticket to see your all-time favorite band. You were so excited. You've been counting down the days to this night for weeks. But of course, when the day finally arrives, it's like a comedy of errors. A huge storm is raging outside, you've got this splitting headache that just won't quit, and, to top it all off, the first reviews for the tour are hitting the internet, and they are just awful. So, what's the play here? Every logical part of your brain is screaming, stay home, put on your comfy clothes, order some food, watch a movie. But then there's that little voice in your head, right? It's whispering, but you paid so much for that ticket. Now be honest with yourself. You'd probably go, wouldn't you? Well, that incredibly powerful, totally illogical pull you're feeling, it actually has a name. It's called the sunk cost fallacy, and it is one of the most common, hidden forces behind some of our absolute worst decisions. So here's how it works. The fallacy kicks in when we keep going down a path, not because it has a bright future, but because of what we've already sunk into it. That money or time or effort, it's gone, it's sunk, you can't get it back. But we let that past investment dictate our future, even when it's clearly leading to more and more loss. It's a flaw in our thinking so powerful it's been blamed for everything from disastrous business ideas to governments continuing unwinnable wars. And the psychology behind this is absolutely fascinating. The Nobel Prize-winning economist Daniel Kahneman, he actually identified a key reason for this, something he called loss aversion. Our brains, it turns out, are literally hardwired to feel the sting of a loss about twice as intensely as we feel the joy of an equivalent gain. Simply put, we hate to lose. And this really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? The emotional core of the problem. Forcing yourself to go to that miserable concert isn't about having fun. It's about trying to avoid that definite, painful feeling that you wasted your money. But to avoid that feeling, you double down and guarantee yourself a miserable evening, basically adding wasted time and physical discomfort to your original financial loss. You know, this idea is so universal that we already have a saying for it. Whenever you hear someone talk about throwing good money after bad, yeah, that's it. They are describing the sunk cost fallacy in action. But look, this isn't just about concert tickets or old sayings. This thing weaves its way into the most important parts of our lives. Let's take a look at a few real-world examples that might hit a little close to home. First up, I want you to meet Arash. He's this brilliant software engineer, and he poured his heart, his soul, pretty much everything into building a new app. He's been working on it for years. So on one side of the ledger, you've got these huge sunk costs, 2 whole years of his life and a massive financial investment. And on the other side, well, you have the brutal, cold, hard reality. The market data is screaming no. Powerful competitors have cornered the market, and there's basically zero user demand. Logically, the game is over. But just listen to his reasoning. It's a textbook case, isn't it? His decision to keep going isn't based on any future potential. It's based entirely on honoring that past investment. He's essentially watering a dead tree just because he remembers how much work it was to plant it. All right, next up, a situation that I think a lot of us might find pretty familiar. It's the expensive subscription we feel totally chained to. Let's call this one the subscription syndrome, and our main character is Sarah. Okay, so Sarah paid a lot of money up front for a 1-year premium gym membership. That money is gone. It's a sunk cost. But her current reality is totally different. She has a minor injury, her doctor is telling her to rest, and her work schedule is just insane. Going to the gym is actually a bad idea for her right now. But there it is again, that little voice. To avoid feeling like she wasted the money, she's forcing herself to go, which means she's risking further injury and just adding more stress to her life. She's actually adding new costs, her health, her peace of mind, to a cost that has already been paid and is never coming back. And finally, maybe the most painful example of all is how this fallacy shows up in our relationships. So, meet Mona and Parham. They've been together for a long, long time. Now, the investment here isn't money. It's something way more valuable. 5 years of their lives, all those shared memories, that immense emotional energy. But their current reality? It's toxic. There's constant tension, a real lack of respect, and they have no shared vision for the future. The bottom line is they are both profoundly unhappy. And their reasoning, it's just heartbreakingly common. They aren't staying together because they see a happy future. No, they're staying together because of the weight of their shared past. They're literally sacrificing their future happiness at the altar of the last 5 years.
So, seeing these traps is one thing, but how in the world do we get out of them? Well, the solution lies in a pretty radical idea. We have to embrace the power of quitting. Escaping this trap requires a really fundamental shift in your mindset. Instead of focusing on the past and asking, ugh, what have I already lost? You have to force yourself to focus on the future and ask a different question. Okay, given where I am right now, what is the absolute best path forward? Suddenly, that past investment becomes completely irrelevant to that question.
And the benefits of doing this? They're huge. You become way more agile. You can cut your losses early and pivot to better opportunities. Your entire mindset starts to shift toward future potential, not past regrets. And maybe most importantly, you find this incredible sense of peace because you're letting go of what you can't change and focusing all your energy on what you can.
So, you see, it really all comes down to a simple choice about where you decide to place your focus. All those past investments, the money, the time, the effort, they aren't a life sentence condemning you to a failing path. Think of them as lessons. The cost was the tuition you paid for the wisdom you've now gained.
So I'm going to leave you with this one big question to think about. That failing project, that unused subscription, that relationship that no longer brings you any joy. What dead tree in your life are you still watering just because you remember planting the seed?